My Grandma Fanny's diary. We're at September the 19th, 1942. Today we all helped fill the silo.
And welcome to another Crockpot Wednesday. And before I share with you the recipe, I'm just going to share with you a little bit on how my day was today. Every video you see is always done the day before. So while you're watching this on a Wednesday, I actually filmed this on Tuesday. Today, I had 50 pounds of chicken that I am cooking off the bone, and I'm going to be canning it tomorrow, which will be a video at the end of the week. Have you ever tried a recipe and it just didn't turn out quite like you thought it would? Well, that's today's Crockpot Wednesday. But before you think this video is a flop, showing a flop of a recipe that I made, it is an amazing recipe. It's just not the way that the recipe was intended. The recipe was called taco lasagna, and it was supposed to be a casserole type dish. It didn't turn out that way at all, but we realized it made the most amazing taco dip. So while it might have been a failure as far as the recipe was concerned, it sure wasn't a failure how it turned out. We're going to call it taco dip. I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. So until we meet again, take care. Bye. What we're making is taco lasagna, and this is a taste of home recipe that I got on Facebook. So this one isn't necessarily a crock pot recipe, but I'm using it for the crock pot today. I'm going to share with you the recipe link at the end of this video, and also will show you recipe link in the description box. I'm not going to go into all the details. To be quite honest with you, I'm in the middle of canning and cooking 50 pounds of chicken, which will be an upcoming video. So I'm just really have a lot of work to do this today, and so we're just going to get working on this. So it calls for a pound of ground beef that's sauteed. I'm using my home canned beef today because I need to do this rather quickly. So what we're doing is we are going to line our crock pot or your baking dish with tortillas. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tortillas in the bottom. So basically we're doing a typical like lasagna, except for we're using tortillas. And then we're going to add 1 can of refried black beans. What we do is going to be in layers. And as you see, I'm using all of my pantry ingredients. So we're going to take so it's 1 layer of tortillas and then 1 layer of black beans. And that we're going to spread on the bottom of our pan. And then we're going to add some ground beef to that. Spread it on the bottom layer of our pan. And then we're going to add some black beans to that. And then a layer of cheese. And some tomatoes. And we're going to do it all over again. We're going to take our tortillas. Our ground beef. Our black beans, and some black beans there as well, and another pint of my stewed tomatoes. Now, like I said, I'm going to share with you the direct recipe. This is just my version of it because I'm using what I have. And there we go. And then we're going to top it with a layer of cheese. And then what you do is you serve this with sour cream and you serve it with some salsa. There you go. That is my take on the taco lasagna. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it in the crock pot. I'm going to put it on high for about 2 hours. It's made for the oven, but high on 2 hours or low on about 4. I would say that you would go high on this because of the tortillas. If you have it long period of time, they would probably get really soggy. So this is one of those crock pot recipes that you want to cook relatively quickly. Also, it's great for the oven, so if you don't want to use it in your crock pot. I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So I'll show you what my kitchen looks like. Well, we got a lot of work going on here. So I have 50 pounds of chicken that is cooking for an upcoming video, but the chicken was 39 cents a pound. And what I'm doing is I'm cooking it in water with some yummy spices to it, and that will make our broth, and we're going to can that in the broth. But as you can see, I have a very busy Wednesday. These are all full of chicken. This chicken was frozen. I actually got it back in May, but my daughter didn't want to have her big freezer anymore, so she brought all the chicken over and I have to get it cooked. So that's what I'm working on today, and I'll show you what our meal looks like when it's finished. So this is what the casserole looks like. Now I will admit, the tortilla part of it got kind of gummy, but what turned out to be maybe not so great is going to be perfect, and I'll show you how we're going to eat it. I always share with you when things turn out amazing and things aren't quite as good, and that's what it looks like. But we can make this really, really good by adding some tortilla chips. So how I'm going to serve it today is tortilla chips, and this is going to be a Mexican dip, and that makes it really perfect. So let me go ahead and get my plate here and show you how I turned it into a not such a great recipe to something really, really good. So what we do is add a little sour cream to it, a little of my homemade salsa, and now we have a perfect meal. It's a thumbs up because this taco lasagna makes a perfect dip for a party. That is amazing. So I would definitely give it a try. It is so good. In fact, I'm going to make it often. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.